Hey everyone, today we are talking about the new Bloodstained beta. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is a new modern Metroidvania game by Koji Igarashi, who was the producer on the Metroidvania-style Castlevania games. With Konami in the state it's been in over the last couple years, Iga went off to create a spiritual follow-up to games like Symphony of the Night and launched Bloodstained through Kickstarter. Nearly 6,500 backers pledged over $5.5 million to the game and smashed through every stretch goal. One was a retro-style platformer which was released about a month ago in Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. We did a review on that game, so go back and check that out if you're interested. Ritual of the Night is still in development and planning to launch on nearly every platform, including PS4, Xbox One, Switch, Vita, PC, Mac, and Linux. Every E3 since the game was in production, the dev team has put out a demo for the show floor. In 2016, backers got a Steam download for that year's demo, which included most of the ship level and a boss. You could also find 2 weapons, 2 shard abilities, 1 passive shard ability, and healing items in that game. For E3 2017, a second demo was made which showed off a church setting and new enemies. This demo was never released to backers. At E3 earlier this month, the latest demo was playable, which includes the original ship level, a new village, and the church. The new demo has approximately 60% new content and features upgrades to the ship. The demo was playable on the E3 show floor and was supposed to be released to backers after E3, but was delayed by a week, which led to some complaints from the community. The reason for the delay was to fix numerous bugs found at E3 for the backer release. Overall, it's a bit of a slap in the face to the backers. Not only did we not get to see the 2017 demo that the press did, we also have to wait 2 weeks after the press to see a demo that the developer stated was good enough for the press and only featured minor bugs that needed to be fixed. In the grand scheme of things, it's not worth getting upset over like some backers have, but it does deserve to be called out because it's not a good practice to give backers a lesser look at something when they've put a considerable amount of money into the game 3 years ago. So that's enough about that, let's check out the new demo.
Johannes, are you certain it was...
It was Jeebel's doing, Miriam. No mistake.
It's so hard to believe. I wouldn't even be alive if not for him. He's a good soul.
I know how you feel. But the facts are apparent. And the hell he endured 10 years ago would break the best of souls.
The demo starts off with a new screen where you can choose your save slot. You can finally save and load your game in this version of the demo. When you start a game, you get an introductory text scroll explaining the story. Basically, the Alchemist Guild experimented with fusing demonic shards with people in order to create Shardbringers, and then sacrificed them all for some reason, which ended up opening a portal where demons came into the world. The church managed to close it, and only 2 Shardbringers weren't sacrificed. Jeebel, who somehow survived being sacrificed, and Miriam, who fell into a coma before then. 10 years later, Miriam awakens and discovers that Jeebel is trying to create the ritual again. He's summoned a castle where demons are coming from. Together with her friend Johannes, Miriam sets off on a boat to confront and stop Jeebel. After the intro dialogue on the ship, we see the new graphical style, which is much cleaner than the last demo. The graphics are quite a bit different from the original 2016 demo. In fact, it's getting a lot of flack online for the changes. While I said the new graphics are clear, they're very different in style. It's not quite as bad, but it is reminiscent of the Mighty No. 9 style change that pissed off a lot of those backers. I don't mind the changes too much, I kinda dig both styles, but it is a pretty big change, so if you were really into that old style, these new graphics probably look really bland. I'm going to put both up here for a comparison so you can compare the old demo and the new one. Right from the beginning we can see the updates. The mini-map is in the top corner, and the full screen map isn't inaccurate like the original demos was. Like I mentioned before, there's also save rooms now, and the ship has 2. There's also 1 new door in which you have to use your directional aim to open. This may just be kind of a tutorial, or it could be mechanic for more puzzles in the full game. On the ship alone, there's quite a few new weapons, including a whip, spear, musket with bullets, knife, and 3 new types of swords. There's also some new equipment, mostly hats which change Miriam's appearance. There's horns, a pirate hat, and more. I think overall there's less consumable items than the original demo, but just a ton of new other stuff. Finally, there's HP and MP items up, just like the permanent increases you would get in Symphony of the Night. There's also new shards as you would expect. You start off with the new Cerulean shard, which spits out water bubbles, and throughout the demo you get quite a few more. The boss for the ship has been updated as well. There's a scene before it, and it has a secondary state where it moves behind the boat. After that, you move on to the village. You can go back to the boat at any time if you'd like. In the town, we're introduced to a variety of new characters and services. There's a shop where you can buy and sell items and sell extra shards. You can also get a bunch of new weapons and armor in here to try out, and buy ingredients. There's also a photography area, but you can't use that in the demo. Johannes has set up an alchemy area there too, where he can make new items that will be sold to you in the shop and cook for you. You need to provide the ingredients for both though, and it sounds like you'll have to provide a recipe for harder stuff later. Eating provides stat boosts, so you definitely want to cook everything you can. There's also the villager Lindsay, who will provide hunt quests, where you get rewarded for killing certain enemies. There's 4 in the demo, and they're a great way to get new items. The village is basically just a service hub with the one building that has all those people and an above ground area that connects the boat to the castle. The town itself does showcase some interesting environmental destruction elements that I hope will be plentiful in the full game. From there we enter the church from the 2017 demo, which is actually the entrance hall of the castle. There's more new enemies, weapons, and shards in here as we move on through to the garden portion of the castle. This is where we see the shard system shine. Although I haven't talked about it much yet, it's a lot like the soul system from Aria of Sorrow or Dawn of Souls. Those were Castlevania games for GBA and DS where when you defeated enemies you had a random chance to get their soul, in this case shard, which gives you their ability. There are a couple types of ability slots in this game. There's a passive one that you just fire, and one that you aim with the right stick before firing. There's also effective and familiar shard slots, but there's none of those in the demo as far as I found. Shards also have ranks and grades. They can be enhanced by Johannes if you can get the right materials, or you can collect more of them to make them more powerful. The castle entrance and gardens is a decent size, a bit bigger than the boat, and showcases a ton of new content. There's more paths and secrets to find. The beta ends with a fairly tough boss fight that fans of the Curse of the Moon spin-off will recognize. Overall, the beta is a pretty good look at the first bit of the game. It's a ton of fun, extremely polished, and features a ton of content in terms of weapons, shards, and items. The only thing that seems to be missing is the percents associated with the maps and archive sections of the menu, which makes sense. The map also had several rooms blocked off. There were high areas I couldn't reach, and there were doors that just wouldn't open, so I imagine those were blocked off for this version of the game. I played for about 2 hours and was level 13 before I beat it the first time, and I still want to go back and farm for any souls I missed and do more alchemy crafting, which will be a big part of the final game. I'm really looking forward to that and can't wait now. Just a couple final notes, a couple issues I have with the demo as is right now. First of all, what's going on with Johannes' animation? It's really strange. I don't know why they have him heaving like that while he's talking, but I guess all the other characters look pretty normal. And also there's a bit of an issue with the text reflow in the box below. I don't know if it's on purpose or not, but the way the text flows in is really strange. It bumps down the last word on every line. Just minor things that don't really affect the experience, but are a little distracting.
Stop right there. I knew what you are. That ghastly air about you. You reek of sorcery, Shardbinder.
And what am I to make of you?
Me? I am your executioner.
Thanks for checking out this review. I'm going to get a edited video of my full playthrough up so you can see more of the game that way if you're interested. So subscribe and check out that, and stay tuned for more reviews, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.